the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
You keep it. Maybe you keep Washington, but if you go to 9 SEC games, I have a hard time believing you keep that Washington game.
Yeah, because who knows what they look like in a couple of years too. I mean, they could be like 40.
You want to stay away from that one. You're like, we could play Washington in the CFP. We don't need to actually go to Seattle and start the year with a loss or whatever. But again, it's a bucket list type deal. And I don't know. This is something we were talking about on the podcast a couple nights ago, but I am curious from your vantage point. If you had you and Danny White get together and you're like, hey, and Danny's like, Bob, you get one choice. Like, well, I'll go with your choice here. One home and home plus a neutral site at your venue. Who is your dream Tennessee home and home that's not on the table you think would actually be a huge success?
Oh, I think it's, and this is not, I don't think this is that novel, but because we have a history with them, I think it's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's Notre Dame for me. And, growing up in Indiana too, I mean, I'm not necessarily a Notre Dame fan, but I've been to enough games in South Bend to know how magical it is there. And, between that and Neyland and, oh my God, I'd be all about that. I'd love to see that be the next one, the next like high profile home and home we could do.
I would love that one. And then you could also, just to throw a bone, be like, we'll play the third one in, I don't know, the Colts Stadium. We'll do that. Yeah. We'll throw something like that.
Yeah, either that or, yeah, it could be in Indy, could be in Nashville, state of Tennessee, but Chicago, honestly, Notre Dame has a huge following in the Chicagoland area. So I don't know. That would just be, again, even for Tennessee to have to travel to South Bend, and if it is Chicago or Indianapolis, that'd be a great trip. It'd be awesome.
It's a bucket list thing, because I mean, if you talk to, like, I'm from Jordan, you talk to any dog fan about the trip to Notre Dame years ago, it's their favorite home and home. Like, every Georgia fan loved that they had a home and home in Notre Dame. And those two games were classics. Like, those two games, Notre Dame, Georgia went down to the wire both times, and they were super memorable. Like, so many Georgia fans made the trip to Notre Dame, regardless of like, oh, it's Notre Dame, blah, 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 blah. They all jumped at the opportunity to go and attend a game at South Bend. Like, there is something different about that stadium.
So I was going to ask you, have you been to South Bend then?
For me, I think it's South Bend makes the most sense. Notre Dame would be so much fun. I think that's like the biggest what if one for me, but the most realistic that I think actually would be really good and should be happening anyway is Virginia Tech. I think you should be doing a home and home. And I think so many Tennessee fans would love to go to Blacksburg. It's not a far trip, and you can do the third one in Bristol. Like, that one to me is where you do the home and home, Bristol, and then you just keep rotating. I think it'd be great for both fan bases. I think it has way more juice than Tennessee, Virginia that we did. Like, I would much rather watch Vodtech versus Tennessee in a home and home. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. But okay, so back to the Notre Dame one. Have you been to a game in South Bend?
I have not.
Okay. It's I've been to a couple. I've been very lucky. And I went to the last time Tennessee played in South Bend, and I remember calling my wife because she didn't come. I went with a bunch of buddies, and our son was much younger then. And I remember, and I've had a few beers. I wasn't, like totally overserved, but I was feeling good. It was a great game. And I was saying, this campus is so amazing. Our son is going to go to Notre Dame. That's all it is to him. Of course he didn't, but you get the feels for that, and I grew up in a Catholic family, so that probably adds to it. And so did my wife, but it's a special place, man. It's, people get the collective eye roll sometimes when you talk about Notre Dame, but Notre Dame football is something else, man. It's pretty wild. And so when you say that about I remember that Georgia game in South Bend. I wasn't there, but watching it on TV, and what a game. I mean, like, that's one you were like, God, I wish I was there for that. But yeah. So but back to Virginia Tech. I like it. I think that would be cool if Virginia Tech could get back to where they were a few years ago. They're a little rough right now, but.
Did you see their AD Whit Babcock? I was reading Football Scoop earlier this week, and I think he's making a pitch to their big donors this week about like the importance of investing in football and that future. So yeah, Vodtech, it's kind of crazy that there's another generation that's growing up with Vodtech being irrelevant. And I grew up on Vodtech being a perennial double-digit win season. Like, I grew up on Michael and Marcus Vick. I grew up on Randall and Kevin Jones and all these dudes. Like, the Beamer Ball, like, that was, one of the premier programs. Like, this is a program that just dominated college football at that school. And obviously one of the best home environments in college football. And you know how many Tennessee fans would just love to be a part of Enter Sandman as an opponent, just for like that it'd be so good.
Yeah. I had a friend who went to Lane Stadium to see Metallica perform there. Said it was
the most recent time when they were just there and everything.
Yeah. Said he got just got chills when that was all going on because how loud it was and music and the actual band playing it. And I'd be a little jealous of that, to be honest with you. That sounded like a great night. But yeah, Brent Pry. Do we think Brent Pry is on the hot seat at Tech?
I think he's definitely on the hot seat. I mean, I think he has to get to like 6 or 7 wins. I mean, it might have to go 7. I wonder what they could do, because part of it is like two things have to be, you have to have both, where if you're also talking about, and like you have the AD going out meeting with donors and being like, here's what we got to get to money wise to realistically compete. Because now the ACC with their new media distribution model, like it's more advantageous to be good because it's based on ratings. Like you're getting a bigger piece of the pie if you're getting better ratings. So to get better ratings, you need to be a better team. So there's more to gain for these schools who it's not an equal pie. So if Virginia Tech is back and you start spending, you talk these boosters into spending big here over the next 3 to 5 years. Hey, guess what? You might get a bigger return on your investment and everything else because there are more eyeballs and we're getting more revenue based on more eyeballs. So I think that's one of the interesting things where people just assume it's going to be Florida State and Miami and Clemson benefiting from this new model. I'm like, hey, if you're Georgia Tech or Virginia Tech or North Carolina, whoever, and you're like, hey, we have a window here, and they think that they're going to be better, but if we're really good, they're going to be eyeballs. Like people will watch elite football teams, and I think people will flock back to Virginia Tech if they're relevant again. So I think that's part of it, is like you can't have these expectations for Brent Pry if you're also not going to spend at a level like Miami and Clemson and company. So I don't know. It's every school is different in their money and where they're at in their budget and this, that, and the other. And some coaches are better at handling a smaller budget than others. And I don't know. I think Virginia Tech's an interesting job if it did open up going into next year, because if I'm a coach who looks at Virginia Tech as an interesting bet on myself kind of gig, I'm like, hey, I need to know what this money's looking like. I need to know, is there a serious investment coming in this change? Or if not, and y'all are going to be serious about football again, then I don't know. Is it like Jamie Chadwell is probably the best, like he's in that market anyway? Like, I don't know. I guess it depends on what that financial commitment looks like going into next year.
Yeah, boy, you want to talk about one I got wrong. I thought when Justin Fuente went there, I was like, what a great hire.
He won like double-digit games his first 2 years.
Yeah, I was like, this guy, what a perfect match. I was bummed out Tennessee didn't go after him, to be honest, at the time. And God, the guy's doing, I think, we talked to
TCU, I think.
TCU color commentary, right? Football on the radio.
Yeah.
It's a fall from grace. I mean, that's not a bad job. I'm just saying that for a guy who probably wanted to be coaching, it's different.
It's just wild. And then you have John Gruden wanting in, and you're just like, this could be a really weird cycle with Jimbo, Gruden, and all kinds of. I'm very curious what the coaching carousel looks like this next offseason. And I mean, it's a big year for like the return home guys. Like if Rich Rod finds magic at West Virginia, those kind of guys who went back for a second run, do other teams look back and they're like, oh, well, maybe I will go back to the well. It worked for them, because it's a copycat league. You know, if it works for somebody, they're like, we could do that too.
Yeah, they got Rich Rod, Scott Frost, right, at UCLA. Yeah.
Like, does Arkansas just go, let's hire Petrino? And it worked before. Let's just put him back in that. We got to a Sugar Bowl with Petrino. Let's just make him the head coach again.
That's going to be an interesting one, because by all accounts, everybody feels it's kind of fait accompli that Sam's not going to make it through he might make it to the end of the season, but he won't make it past there. So it'll be interesting to see if they go and spend a bunch of money and try to get a bigger name, or if they just look inside and give Petrino a chance to run it back. Because
he's a great play caller. I mean, Taylor Green was good, and that offense. I mean, probably Petrino did not forget how to coach. Like, it's all off the field stuff with Petrino. Petrino is still a great offensive mind. It's just, would you hand the keys to Bobby Petrino as a head guy in 2020?
That's right. Yeah,
I would not, but I don't know what Arkansas would do.
I think there's going to be a couple jobs open, at least in the SEC, though. I think that's. I don't want to say safe to say, but I feel pretty confident there could be, at least a couple available.
Yeah.
I think Hugh Freeze is in serious trouble, man. I think if he doesn't win at least 8 games, and even 8 games, I think there's going to be heat,
Well, I mean, he set the bar at 6. Because remember, did you hear that media comment this summer? He's like, I know I got to go. I know the Heat saw me to go bowling. I'm like, bowling? This is year 3 at Auburn. What are we talking about? But I love it. I respect it to be like, hey, I mean, I understand the Heat's on me to go bowling this year. And you're like, what? Hold on. I don't think that's what the pressure is, Hugh. I think it's like to go 8, like you said, 8, 9 wins, man.
Yeah. And they're going to learn a lot right off the bat, right? Against Baylor, because it feels.
I think Baylor's going to beat them.
Yeah, Baylor's another one that, there's a lot of chatter that they're going to be resurgent too, that they've, they got a lot of players coming back. So.
Yeah. That's the guy I wanted, by the way, in the portal window. I wanted Robertson, like 24-year-old Sawyer Robertson. He came on strong. He's in Jake Spavital running that tempo system. And I don't know, he's an absolute 1-year guy. If we could have gotten one guy for the 1-year blip post Nico, Sawyer Robertson was the one I wanted, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of quarterback and everything, Bob, I feel like we've harped too much on the quarterback receiver, kind of doom and gloom. Maybe it's the rain that.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.